Hello and welcome back to the channel. So tonight we are making one of my favorite things to make when it comes to a special dinner, when it comes to a holiday with my family for date nights. This is something that if we go to a really nice restaurant or steakhouse, we will order. And after years and years and years of ordering these things at a restaurant, I have come up with my favorite way to have it. And it is healthier than most appetizers you're gonna have, healthier than a lot of salads you're gonna have. And it is a heirloom tomato and burrata salad. And the first thing we're gonna do, so this is, if you don't know what burrata is, okay, it is fresh mozzarella cheese filled with shreds of mozzarella soaked in cream. So it's like a mozzarella shell, and then it shreds of mozzarella and a cream inside of there. 1 ounce of it is only 70 servings. So you could literally have half of the burrata ball for 70 servings or a whole burrata ball for 140 servings. So what me and my husband oftentimes will do is we'll split the burrata ball, and I'll show you what it is if you're unfamiliar. But a lot of times people will get a caprese salad, which is some sort of mozzarella with tomatoes and some kind of balsamic, herbs, spices, basil. And so this, out of all the ways I've had it, I had this one at a restaurant years ago at a steakhouse. And I have been doing my very best to recreate it. And I am telling you, it is so freaking good. It is so delicious. And yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our burrata. And you can get this at all different places, and it's always gonna be sealed. And so the first thing we're gonna do is get it out, and it always comes in liquid. So is your liquid is flattering. So when you take it out, you didn't see that. I didn't just spill the burrata juice. It comes in a ball just like this. So this entire burrata ball would be 140 calories, or half of it would be 70. So we're gonna get, there's 4 balls in this package. And so we're gonna get all of the burrata balls. Let me actually put this down, flip you down. We'll get the burrata balls out. We'll start assembling the salad, and I'll clean up. All right, that's better. So we're just gonna get the burrata balls out, and you just take them out, shake them off, and then we're setting them here on a plate. And again, in here, there's gonna be 4 of them. And these are amazing even to, like if you have bread, people can spread the burrata, the interior of the burrata over bread. But we're just gonna get them out, and we're literally just gonna set them on a plate to start getting to room temperature, okay? So there we go. Those are all sitting here, and we can just discard this. Next, we have some heirloom tomatoes. Now, heirloom tomatoes you can typically get at most grocery stores. They are gonna be a little more expensive than regular tomatoes. They come in these different colors. These are typically about $3 a pound. If you don't have heirloom tomatoes, you can just use a big old hothouse tomato, a vine ripe tomato, but I prefer it to be a bigger tomato. So you can see this is about the palm of my hand, but I prefer it, these work better with a bigger tomato. So if you're making this for a crowd, you're gonna want about 3 pounds of tomatoes. And again, you can make them all out of this. It just looks a little bougier. It looks a little bit better. If it is the heirloom tomatoes, it looks like they're literally dining at a high-end steakhouse. So we're going to start slicing our tomatoes. And when you slice them, I like to slice real fine just to get that thing off of there. And about the thickness I like to go is going to be about like this, okay? And you can make this any thickness you want, but in my experience, you don't want it to be super thin. You want it to be a little bit of a slice of tomato, okay? So we're just going to slice these. And this is even extra amazing in the summertime. And when you get here, you can just slice like this. And so again, we're gonna take off that little piece right there. So we're gonna slice up all of our tomatoes. Okay. A lot of your tomatoes, your heirloom tomatoes, will have these big brown spots on them. And just again, cut that thin slice off. The thing I love about heirloom tomatoes, like, look at how pretty that is. It almost looks like a piece of stained glass. It looks like a piece of artwork. And even look at how pretty that tomato is. I mean, I guess if tomatoes could be pretty. My kids love these. Okay. Now we're gonna cut up our green tomato. Even sometimes my husband and I will make this for, look at that. We'll make this for a date night. And then my kids are like, Mom, how come we don't get to have it? Okay. And then again, let's just say you have a regular tomato. Same thing, cut that bottom piece off. And then, and listen, there's nothing wrong with a vine ripe tomato. It's just as equally beautiful. So we'll cut that up. All right, so once you get the tomato cut, now you're gonna grab, hold on, let me, some kind of platter, okay? Something you're gonna serve it on. And I like to arrange the tomatoes kind of by color a little bit, so there's a little bit different colors going on. Again, you don't have to do that. That's just me being extra. And you're just gonna lay these tomatoes out. You can overlap them a little bit. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely stunning on your table. Like, everybody will be like, wow, what is that? That looks delicious. That looks amazing. And you can just fill in with these little tiny pieces. Some people throw these little tiny pieces away. You can either put them on your board like this, or you can make a little personal salad out of it. I kind of like just to fill in here and there. Okay. Or you can simple. All right, once we get that done, I have in here, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I have 3 tablespoons of a balsamic vinegar. I've sliced up some shallot. I'm gonna put that in here, as well as some green onion. So I like just to mix that in here, just like this. Just like that, okay? Now I'm gonna let this sit for just a moment, and you can see that's the green onion sliced up with our shallot. And if you don't have shallot, you can use some onion finely sliced, but the shallot just really adds a little bit extra to it. And while that is sitting there, I have some basil from my garden. I'm telling you, if you've never grown herbs, you can literally buy a basil plant, put it in a pot, and it'll give you basil all year long. And then you can just go out and pick it. So we're just gonna slice up some fresh basil. When you're making things like this, there's no substitute for fresh basil. Like it's just delicious. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of just sea salt and I'm gonna sprinkle that over the tomatoes. You definitely wanna salt these. Let me actually recenter you. All right. So again, we're just gonna sprinkle, and I just like to do it with my fingers. I feel like I have more control. Sprinkle some sea salt over our tomatoes. And this is just some rough ground sea salt. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to start to, first thing I like to do is just pour some of the liquid without the shallots. So I like to do something like this. And I'm just gonna start pouring the liquid over. So then what you're left with is the soaked. Now, one of the things that I think is a game changer, we'll get to that in a moment. Now you're gonna start spooning some of this right on the tomatoes. And this is our shallot, green onion mixture. Just like this. And you wanna get a little bit on each one. And by the way, I used a whole shallot in here and about half of a bunch of green onions. All right. Okay. Now, next we have 1/3 of a cup of panko crumbs, just panko breadcrumbs. And I've browned them, toasted them in a pan. And you're just now gonna sprinkle the panko breadcrumbs over this. And a couple different things. This is already gonna be pretty healthy, but a couple things you could do if you were trying to make this even healthier. You could omit the olive oil altogether. You could just leave it out and use the balsamic vinegar. And that would be delicious with all the herbs and everything else. And the panko breadcrumbs, really, you're not using enough. Okay, now even without the burrata, now you're gonna take the basil, sprinkle that over. Just like that, okay? And then last but not least, we're gonna take our burrata and we're going to just place those on the salad, just like so. Last couple steps, I'm gonna take some pepper and just dust some pepper on here, just like that. And then optional, you can take some balsamic glaze and you can just run that over just like so. And my friends, this is the most amazing tomato burrata salad you have ever put in your mouth. You put this on the table. I mean, the levels of flavor between the heirloom tomatoes, the basil, the breadcrumbs, the shallots, the chives, the burrata. And when you break this burrata open, oh, let me just show you actually, hold on, what it looks like when you break it open. So when you break the burrata open, it is like this ooey gooey mozzarella all inside of there. And that, so you'll break it open, you'll cut it, you'll eat it on the tomato. You can spread this on bread. but it is amazing. I'm telling you, you make this for a holiday party, you put this on your table and it'll be gone. It'll be gone. People might not know what it is. You might have to explain it, but this sucker, this is a hero. You know how you ever heard hero or zero? Hero. This is, I'm sitting here picking at it. It is so good. And it's not even tomato season. And if you're trying to be healthy, skip the olive oil, skip the cheese. You could just take tomato and this would be delicious. I will put the nutritional information down in the comments, but literally it would be how many ever tomatoes you want, which would count as a green, which would count as a serving of a green, teaspoon if you use the olive oil. Vinegar's free. The breadcrumbs, there's so little. That would be like a quarter of a blue or a few calories. I'm saying the container colors for my clients who are watching, but this is amazing. So make sure, if you are new here, make sure you have subscribed. Make sure you smash the like button. It helps us reach more people here on the channel. And let me know what you want to see more of. So thank you so much for watching. We are live every single Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will be back next week, same time, same place. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Mr. O'Quinn, I see you sneaking up on this burrata salad.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take one for the honor of YouTube.
So this combination, I told him we've had a lot of caprices, a lot of tomato mozzarella salads over the year.
Oh, yeah.
But this combination right here.
Yes, by far the best. By far the best.
So if they brought this to a party, a holiday.
Oh, crowd pleaser for sure.
That's what I said. It's a hero.
It's definitely a hero.